Guys, it's Roganman here, and welcome back to another Overwatch League video. I'm not with my usual partner in crime with me today. I wanted to do a video because it's basically me talking about my team. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on something that was announced last week. We spoke about it in some of our predictions, some of our results videos. But it's been officially announced now. There's a video that went out today on the London Spitfire YouTube channel, basically talking about the changes and the new coach. Fisherable talking about what his plans are for the London Spitfire. Obviously, damage controlling, saying that they're not going to turn around and become a top team straight away, but he hopes to turn it around, at least get a win on the board at some point in the season. Obviously, Reprize, the former coach, I believe he took over this year, stepping down. We do have a little thing here that he's put out talking about why he stepped down. And he's actually retired from Overwatch League coaching in general, which is fair enough. 0-5 when he stepped down, I believe. It was not a great start to the season, and it can partly it can come down to the coaching. It's also down to the players as well. But who knows? Maybe a new coach, maybe Fisherable can bring these players up to their skill gap that they're playing at, should be playing at. Because you've got players like Hybrid, Brolaza, and Sharks, who have all either come from a very good contenders team or they've been on in the league before, so they should be experienced. There's all sorts of things going wrong with the Spitfire at the moment that just shouldn't be going wrong in terms of their DPS line. They're obviously stepping up from contenders, as Fisherable says in his video. It's harder. You can't get away with everything that you want to get away with in contenders, which you in the league. A lot of experienced players, they know what they're doing a lot better, well, a lot more of the time. There's a lot less room for mistakes. So we're just gonna get right into this. While there are many reasons why I've decided to step down as head coach, I want Spitfire fans to know that it has nothing to do with my faith in the players or the staff currently there. If anything, my faith in them has encouraged me to make this decision sooner rather than later. Because I have seen firsthand how amazing they can be. They are some of the smartest, most hardworking, and passionate group of people I have ever had the pleasure of working with, and it breaks my heart to make this decision, but I believe it ultimately for the best. Along with my decision to step down, I'm going to be retiring from Overwatch coaching altogether. There are also some key points I want to make clear. Ultimately, my decision came down to the fact that I didn't live up to my own expectation in several areas and was not effective of a head coach as I wanted to be or should be. My coaching style was not what this team needs to succeed at its highest potential, and I care about this team too much to let the wrong person head it leader. Fair enough. This was not a sudden or reactionary decision, and not a decision I would make at all if we did not have such a smooth transition plan in place. There is no drama or bad blood or anything like that. I love working with these people, and we have shared many fond memories together. I wish them all the best, and I know that in fact, with the right person at the helm, this team can do amazing things. I think so too. So we're just gonna have some gameplay of the London games in the background from now. But I just wanted to talk about this. You could clearly see from the London Spitfire in the first, like, throughout the main melee, the first week of June Joust. June Joust, if we take it separate for now, we'll separate that, I'll talk about that in a second. But throughout the main melee, you could tell that they were trying to keep up with a meta, and it just wasn't working, having for people like Blase playing on the Mei just to keep up with the Mei rush comp meta that was going on throughout the main melee. Obviously Morphig, yes, he came in as a Sigma main, but if you're switching him over onto that Diva throughout June Gel so far, he's been performing really well. Granted, yes, their classic dive has not been working out for them, and their persistence to stay on the classic dive is what's been ultimately causing them to lose maps and lose the games altogether. Example of that is with the Atlanta Rain last week. They went 2-0 down after playing Classic Dive, and obviously, as you know, pushing a cart or defending the cart. If you have a Monkey or a Winston and you have a Diva, they can't really pressure them, keep the cart, like, stopping it from moving, as well as somebody like a Ryan could and a Orisa could, cutting up the shields, or even a Sigma to an extent, a Zarya. Winston can just get pressured on the point. Yes, he drops bubble, but then you just pressure into the bubble and you just eliminate him. Diva, obviously, as soon as you demech her, it's easier to take her off the point. So they just don't have the tanks playing at the moment to be able to keep pressure on the point and stop the advance. And obviously, you need to be able to slow down that point for allow the picks or from the DPS, so allow the DPS to slow down the game and pick up the picks that they need to in different areas. Obviously you also need the support line to be performing. I don't think it's all on the support line. We're not going to blame all on the support line. I have in the past, and that's my mistake. They are doing their best. They are definitely getting support lift a little bit, but like coming up from contenders is hard. Obviously it's really hard to adapt. But hopefully going into the June Joust, hopefully with Fisherable in charge, maybe they can pick up their first win. It's doubtful. I'm recording this obviously before the Houston Outlaws game. I'm probably get this out before the Houston Outlaws game. But Houston Outlaws obviously one of the best teams in the league at the moment. We played them in the main melee, lost 3-0. Um, got destroyed on Hanamura by Jangu, but obviously Ryan's not in not in the hero pools at the moment, so who knows what will happen. Obviously Houston played out of their mind against Florida last week, which were one of the teams that went to Hawaii in the main melee. So it's going to be interesting to see how this changes adapting them. Obviously you saw last week some signs of it. You having Blase moving over to the Echo, and then you have Shax and their other DPS moving on to the hit scans more often. Then we have Sparker that could be coming in, which is he can't start until June 10th, which is when it's usually going to play. But obviously, when Tracer comes back into the hero pool, Sparker will be on that Tracer, and we can have Sparker, and maybe we can have Shax or Hybrid coming in on the hit scan, and then we can sub in Blase every so often. Obviously, Blase hasn't been performing to his highest potential that everybody knows he can. Obviously, coming from, I believe he came from the Outlaws last season, so he knows this team to an extent. He got Echo Death hard on Icon World last week against the Atlanta Reign. The Atlanta Reign DPS Echo had twice the amount of damage that Blase did on Echo, so it was rough. But Pelican just outperformed him on that Echo. So it's just going to be a matter of time for how quickly they can adapt. Obviously, they don't want to be chasing matters like they do. They need to find this comfortable comp, and I think Classic Dive might be that, but they need to be willing to adapt on the fly. They need to be able to adapt with the Orisa, which Hardy can play. He did play in the Atlanta Ring game, and it led to them taking a checkpoint, which was progress over what the game was before that. Otherwise, it was just a whitewash. But um, it's just down to whether or not they can get these main tanks in, and Hardy needs to be performing on Orisa. Obviously, he plays Boy here and there, but I feel like Orisa in this meta is gonna be the play for Hardy. And having more big on supporting either doing double shield with the Sigma or playing the Diva here and there, subbing in hybrid Shelks and Blase interchangeably, which is the only subs that we can actually make. And it's just down to Reaper and Calyx if they can perform. I don't think Calyx is maybe the best to have a Lucio. His Mercy was a little bit better, but it's just that we don't have enough healing, I don't think, to be doing this. And obviously, I'm not the best player. I'm just coming from my perspective. And I could be completely wrong on this. It's just from what I've seen watching all the Spitfire games. This is why I picked up watching them. So yeah, I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on, obviously, Reprize stepping down as head coaching and retiring from Overwatch coaching in general, and Fisherable taking up his place. Obviously, he was the assistant coach to Spitfire going into the season, and he did lead a lot of these players last season in British Hurricane, which was one of their most successful seasons. Why they ended up pulling up all these players to Spitfire. So maybe Fisherable will have more of an impact on this team because he knows them. He's worked with them so hard and well. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see going into the Houston Outlaws game, which I don't think there'll be much impact on. But going into the Paris Eternal game and going into, I believe, the San Francisco Shock game is after that. We'll have to see if there's much difference. Paris Eternal is going to be the best way they're going to be able to pick up a win. They could do the complete upset and upset San Francisco, but it's unlikely. So yeah, that was just my quick video talking about the new coaching changes at the London Spitfire. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!